Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Jenny here, and I'm joined by the one and only tech whisperer, Mark, who always has his finger on the pulse of what's next.
Whisperer? I like that. Makes me sound mysterious. Hello, Jenny, and hello to all our listeners. Got some pretty big news to dive into today, especially if you care about keeping communities safe.
Excitement is an understatement, especially when we're talking about something as vital as first responder communication. We're talking about Verizon's Frontline Network Slice going coast to coast. That's, a huge deal.
Oh man, this is the cool part. I was just reading about this in, 7 weeks? From launching in about 30 pilot cities to covering the entire nation, that's fast. Like, really fast for something as complex as a network rollout.
7 weeks for telecom infrastructure? That's almost unheard of. It really shows a different kind of urgency when public safety is involved, doesn't it? It's not just another product launch, it's impact.
Exactly. And think about Asterisk, how times they prioritized. They hit hurricane and flood zones first. New Orleans, Miami, it's not just a tech rollout. It's a strategic public safety move. It's triage by zip code, which is kind of brilliant in its own way.
Triage by zip code. That's a powerful way to put it, Mark. But even with that speed and focus, I can already hear some listeners wondering about rural areas. Are they truly covered, or is this just, a big city perk?
Hold that thought, because we'll get into the nuance of that coast-to-coast claim. But first, let's talk about what this slice means on the ground. Picture this. Your emergency vehicles becoming mobile command centers. It's a fundamental shift.
So, goodbye crackly radios, hello high-def video streams from the scene? Sounds a bit like science fiction, to be honest.
Oh, Jenny, it's so much more. We're talking patrol cars and ambulances streaming 8K video. Not just video, but biometrics, real-time data, all simultaneously. For instance, in LA field tests, this tech cut emergency decision latency by 70% during wildfires. That's a profound shift in how first responders operate. Think about it. A commander seeing the exact fire line in real time. Or a doctor getting live vitals from an accident victim on the way to the hospital.
Okay, wait. My Uber driver loses GPS in a tunnel, but an ambulance can stream 8K video? How is that even fair? And more importantly, how does a dedicated slice make that kind of difference? What even time's a network slice, for those of us who aren't tech whisperers?
That's the magic, Jenny. So basically what's happening is, network slicing creates a virtual fast lane on Verizon's 5G ultra-wideband network. It's like having a reserved lane on a highway, even during rush hour. For first responders, it means their mission-critical data, those 8K video streams, biometric readings, SWAT team communications, doesn't get stuck behind someone downloading a movie or, doom-scrolling social media. Their data gets priority, always.
So it's guaranteed, dedicated bandwidth, like an exclusive VIP pass for crucial data. That makes so much sense for operations where every second truly counts. No more buffering when lives are on the line.
Exactly. And here's the thing. This isn't just a fancy feature. It's solving a very real problem. Think about large events, like a major concert, or a sporting event, or even natural disasters, where networks get completely jammed. This slice prevents commercial congestion from disrupting vital operations. Surgeons guiding paramedics shouldn't buffer like Netflix, right? It's kind of a no-brainer.
You're right, no buffering during life-or-death situations. It just sounds, intuitive that it should work this way. But if it's so good, what about the competition? T-Mobile has their T-Priority service. How does Verizon's permanent allocation stack up against T-Mobile's on-demand activation? Is one better than the other, or just different strokes for different folks?
That's an excellent question, Jenny, and it highlights a key difference. T-Mobile's T-Priority can be activated on demand, and they've shown it working during those LA wildfires with a pretty good response time. I think it was about 15 minutes for activation, which is decent in an emergency. But Verizon's is pre-provisioned. It's always on, always there. It's a permanent allocation of resources. This eliminates any activation wait time, which could be critical in a rapidly unfolding emergency. 15 minutes can be a lifetime in a crisis.
So it's always on versus on when you need it. And I have to ask the obvious question here. Is this going to cost public safety agencies an arm and a leg? Dedicated slice sounds expensive, doesn't it? Like premium expensive.
See, that's actually the interesting part. From what I understand, This network slice is provided at no extra cost compared to their existing ultra-wideband plans. It's essentially integrated into what agencies might already be paying for. It's not a separate, premium add-on specifically charged for the slice itself. So it's a big boost without a big new bill.
No extra cost? That sounds almost altruistic. Or is it just smart business for Verizon to solidify their position with first responders? Taxpayers already fund UW networks, so are carriers repackaging our money as charity? It does make you wonder a bit, doesn't it?
A bit of both, perhaps? There's a significant investment in infrastructure, no doubt, and securing those crucial public safety contracts gives them a strong foothold in a key market. I'd argue it's a smart long-term play, aligning their network capabilities with critical societal needs, which in turn builds strong relationships with government entities. It's strategic, but it also benefits the public.
All right, putting the business hat aside for a moment, let's talk about reliability. Can this technology truly prepare us for something like another Hurricane Katrina? A disaster of that scale could cripple any network, no matter how advanced.
Well, they did conduct simulated Katrina-level stress tests, and the results were quite impressive. They retained 99% service quality under those conditions. Does it mean it's immune to all problems? Forever? Of course not. But it speaks to the resilience they've built into the system, anticipating those worst-case scenarios. It's built to withstand a lot.
99% is incredible. That's a statistic that should reassure a lot of folks. But you mentioned earlier about rural limitations. What's the catch there? Because a lot of our listeners are in those areas.
The catch is, you need Verizon's 5G ultra-wideband coverage for this to work. So while it's nationwide in terms of availability on their network, if a rural area hasn't had UW rolled out yet, they won't get the benefits of the slice. It highlights that persistent urban/rural digital divide, which, frankly, is a tough nut to crack. The FCC is pushing for greater interoperability, so ideally, agencies could roam cross-carrier during mega disasters, ensuring continuity even if one network goes down. But we're not quite there yet. Not for that seamless experience.
So my earlier point about rural medics feeling like second-class responders. It's still, unfortunately, an issue we need to solve across the board. It's not just about what Verizon does, but what the industry and policymakers do together. What's the next frontier for this tech, Mark? Where does Verizon take this slice next, beyond just, a fast lane?
Well, the next big one on the horizon is multi-access edge computing, or MEC. The plans are to integrate MEC with the slice, aiming for sub-millisecond response times. Think about it. Real-time drone control, AI-driven analytics, all processed at the very edge of the network, not way back in a distant data center. It reduces cloud dependency for emergencies in remote areas, for instance. It's about bringing the processing power closer to where the action is.
So drones could become first responders before humans? And process their data locally, right there on scene? That's a lot to unpack.
Precisely. It opens up possibilities for autonomous response, faster visual assessments, and ethically, the focus for the Q3 rollout, from what I gather, is to specifically target closing those urban/rural readiness gaps. They want to use MEC to empower those underserved areas. It's an ongoing evolution, but this nationwide slice is a massive step towards a truly integrated, responsive emergency network.
It sounds like a fundamental shift in how public safety operates. From guaranteed connections to localized processing, we're moving towards a truly responsive, intelligent emergency network. Mark, this has been incredibly insightful, as always. Maybe you can whisper some secrets about 6G next time?
Always a pleasure, Jenny. I'll see what I can do about those 6G whispers. It's fascinating to watch these technologies mature and impact real lives. Catch everyone next time.